For the first 13 years of my career, I had to have non-wrestling sources of income just to make ends meet. So I've got experience when it comes to balancing those weekend bookings with a regular 9-to-5 gig. And today, I want to help you get the balance right. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. And throughout my wrestling career, I've been very fortunate. I've worked in front of the cameras as a professional wrestler, referee, ring announcer, and commentator. And I've worked behind the scenes too, as a promoter, booker, agent, coach, and consultant. And if you are passionate about pro wrestling and you're never done learning all about it, you've arrived in the exact right place, my friend. Join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe down below, enable notifications, and if you're ready to take your participation to the next level, join our community over on Patreon. Just until the end of this month, I've got something special. For anyone new joining at the Master tier, I'm going to do a personalized match review for you and send you my complete critique and feedback. Being a professional wrestler on the weekends, while balancing that with a weekday 9-to-5 type gig, is a regular practice for the majority of pro wrestlers out there. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a distinct minority of professional wrestlers who are able to make their living solely from wrestling. And most of them operate at the corporate level. Those are people who work for big international level companies and sign guaranteed dollar figure contracts. Learning how to balance your burgeoning wrestling career and all those bookings that you're getting with the demands of holding down a regular job is a necessary survival technique for most professional wrestlers, especially during their apprentice phase, when they are not earning enough to make a full-time living. That's why today, I want to share with you my real-life experience. Talk about the 6 jobs that I held between 1994 and 2007. I'm sure at some past point I've mentioned part of this on the channel before. During the first 2 years of my wrestling career, I had to hold down 4 part-time jobs in order to make ends meet. I had 3 which operated during retail hours, and then I had 1 working overnights installing fiber optic cable in office buildings. And I was lucky that 2 of those retail jobs happened to be in the exact same shopping mall. So running from one shift to another was not that big of a challenge, at least where those 2 were involved. But working a full-time day schedule and then rushing to work an overnight shift installing those cables, as you can imagine, was incredibly demanding during the week. Luckily, when I was 20 years old, I didn't need much sleep. You'll never guess who deleted a key clip from this video. Actually, you probably will guess. Anyway, after that, I went to work for a big bank for a period of about 2 years, and I onboarded new customers and wrote home equity loans, which impossibly is even less fun than it sounds. And the last of these is also the job that I held for the longest. 1 day shy of 10 complete years, I was working for a company that specializes in packaging materials. So my past work experience, while I was simultaneously a pro wrestler, breaks up into 3 periods. The period where I juggled 4 jobs at the same time, then when I moved on into the banking industry, and then when I worked in packaging. So what did I learn from each of these? Well, up first, I learned that 4-job juggle that I was doing for a period of 2 years gave me the freedom I needed, but it ran me ragged. The bank gig that I had, it certainly paid better and it came with better benefits, but the schedule was too rigid to accommodate the growth of my wrestling career. So armed with the knowledge that I gained from doing that 4-job juggle and then spending 2 years in the banking industry, I headed into that final job interview, the gig that I held for a solid decade, with a brand new game plan. I told my supervisor during the hiring process that my priority in life was my wrestling career. I was very upfront about the fact that I would frequently need to take Friday afternoons off, and depending on the travel associated with certain bookings, I'd need Monday mornings off as well. I also made it known that in order to entertain the possibility of long overseas tours, that I might exhaust all of my paid time off and would need an option to be able to take unpaid time as well. So before I agreed to take that position at the packaging company, I made sure to understand all the options I had available to me, as well as being upfront with my future boss about my priorities. Hey, if you haven't liked today's video yet, take a moment quick and do that for me, would you? And don't be afraid to leave me a string of emojis down in the comment section. I will attempt to decipher the meaning. Having that conversation with my supervisor in advance was really the key. It also helped make sure that my new health insurance benefits were set up properly. They were well aware of the fact that I also worked as a professional wrestler. This ensured that if I did get injured, they could not deny the claim by saying they had no idea I was engaged in that pursuit. If you're considering taking a full-time gig and balancing that with your pro wrestling career, my advice to you would be have an open and honest discussion with your future employer before you agree to take that job. Be upfront with them about what your priorities are. If you don't think that a full-time gig would be a good fit with your burgeoning wrestling career, I want you to know the modern gig economy is a terrific option for part-time employment that comes with a lot of flexibility. Think of ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft, or delivery services like DoorDash and Shipt. Each of these allows you the option to customize your schedule specifically to your needs. Will any of them provide the same stability as full-time work? No, but they certainly will give you flexibility. Get the Balance Right is a Depeche Mode song. Getting the balance right is an important part of the integration of your wrestling life with your other professional pursuits. And equally important is refining the quality of your wrestling life. For my insight on that, click on the video appearing up here. Or if you'd like to hear more about creative flexibility and the challenges of working for big companies, click on the video down here. Go on, take them out for a spin.